I can interact with both because I understand the both. Just won't step out there too far with that side of the on that side of the pond because I know I'm not going to separate myself from the creation.
But also, WL, what my thinking is that you practice yoga religiously, and yoga has so many different. It has different stages. There are even different types of yoga, but the one that I'm more concerned about that I think you have obtained is that third eye. And when you develop that third eye, I used to wonder. I said, well, it's not another eye. It's something that you see that others don't
insight.
see. Right, it's insight. When you develop that insight, then you begin to see things as they are, and you begin to understand differently. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying is that if you want to practice yoga, there is more to that. Just for me, when I came to yoga class, it was not to learn. It was just mainly to get exercise and to improve my quality of life. But then I found out that yoga was much more than asanas, much more than coming to class. I found that it was a lifestyle. And what do we mean by lifestyle? That the yoga instructor started telling me about how I was eating. I said, well, what has this got to do with yoga? And then I got past that part. Then he started working on the oneness, changing the way that I was thinking, the way that I was trained. And the more I began to internalize this, the more I realized that...
Start looking within with another eye. You can't see within with these eyes.
Right. I realized, I said, well, this is what he's saying has merit. And it began to change my life because things didn't affect me like they did before I became a yoga. I didn't get concerned about... I'm concerned about it, but I didn't let it affect my lifestyle, when things happen. When Christmas come up, you go into a frenzy with birthdays, all these things that are generated by man to create money. You begin to think differently about this. You begin to think differently about life and death. You're no longer afraid of death. I heard WL mention something about he's not going to leave till he get ready. To me, that was powerful. That was very powerful because I had someone sick in my family, and I told him, I said, look, get this in your brain that you're not going to leave until you're ready. So that type of thinking that we learn at yoga is very powerful.
And it has worked for you.
Oh, sure, it's worked for you.
And that's what makes it more powerful when you see the manifestation of what you hear.
Right.
Like, for instance, and I know some of you have heard the story before. For instance, when you came to class crying, and said that your wife only had 3 months to live according to the doctor. And this was how many years ago?
At least 5 or 6 years ago. Somewhere
5 like or 6, maybe closer to 7, around 2000, 2001. And she's still with us now.
Correct.
But she refused to change her lifestyle. She succumbed to your wishes and ate and did the right thing as long as you were there with her. So, we're not saying that she's going to last until she gets ready to leave, because I think she's given up after 6 years. Do you feel that she's given up?
Well, no, I don't feel that she's given up, but it's the thing when you put your life in man's hands. What we understand as yogis that a cure, medicine is not about curing.
No,
it's about they give you things to make you feel better, and you can come back and get more. So this is what we're caught up in. We're caught up in.
Let's call it like it is. It's psychosomatic.
Okay.
It's a psychosomatic feeling that you have.
Right.
It's psychosomatic. That's a disease, or this ease is psychosomatic. So they give you a psychosomatic medicine.
Right, but
it's pretend.
But we know that as practicing yoga and your lifestyle, yoga and changing your lifestyle, we know what fruits and vegetables and exercise can do. We know that once you eat the right thing, that your immune system has the power to cure anything that may ail you.
Okay, let's go to a break, and we're going to come back. I want to finish up this paragraph on the control of the mind.
Okay, control of.
We'll be right back. Okay, so where I left off, fierce looking. However, with most of mankind, the mind is very little developed and is entirely under the control of the body.
You gonna do a headstand?
You understand that? The mind is very little developed and is totally under control of the body. Sure it is. The body can't move, or the mind can't move without the assistance of the mind and the brain telling the mind what to do. That's what it does. So, even a superficial analysis will reveal that we have, in fact, very little command over the mind because the body exerts a powerful control over it. Now, that's what the part we got to get to here. Now, I'm going to read that part again, and I want you to really internalize what's being said here. Even a superficial analysis will reveal that we have in fact, very little command over the mind because the body can easily control the mind. The following facts prove the interdependence of the body and the mind and their reaction to one another. By treating the body with modern shock therapy. Now they go into telling you about shock therapy. Now what is shock therapy? They're even talking about inoculating the body for malaria. Mm-hmm. That's shock therapy. You're shooting malaria into the body in order to keep the body from catching malaria. What kind of stupid stuff is that? Mm-hmm. But that's what our society does.
Right.
Because instead of telling you to get control over your body, put the right substance in your body when you chew, when you eat, they will tell you, oh, eat what you want to eat. That's what we're here for, to take care of you. And we got some malaria we can shoot into your body to keep you from getting malaria. We got typhoid fever that we shoot into your body to keep you from getting typhoid fever.
And look
polio.
Right.
You know, polio vaccine.
Right.
They shoot the polio vaccine in to keep from getting polio. And what's the other one? Measles. And
yeah, we're forced to vaccinate the young kids before they go to school.
That's indoctrinating them. That's getting them involved in this society bullshit. And see, and I say bullshit because all of it is nothing but chewed up grass.
Hay.
Chewed up hay. But
yes,
I can't tell you not to get your child inoculated because it's the law.
right.
And that law is meant on destroying this society one at a time, one body at a time. That's what the law is about. It destroys. It does not build. You know, I was a law enforcement officer for many years, and I saw the fallacy of trying to enforce these stupid laws. Like if a child is destructive, bad behavior, bad attitude,
Let's put that foot up there.
stealing, all the destructive things he's allowed to do by this society because the parent has no control over disciplining him. You can't discipline a child by telling him time out, go stand in the corner. He thinks this is what life is all about. Oh, if I go out and kill somebody, they're going to give me time out. I go stand in the corner. If I go and rob this grocery store, they're going to have me stand in the corner for a couple of hours. That's not teaching that child anything. But that's what